In a world of high expectations, glitzy red carpets, and promotional campaigns that promise the impossible, some movies still manage to fall flat, no matter how many stars they have or how much hype surrounds them. Here are the top 8 films that nobody watched in 2025.
What? Don't touch it.
The case, Santos.
Not on your life.
At number 8, we have Drive Away Dolls, a bizarre crime caper from Ethan Coen, one half of the legendary Coen brothers duo. The movie promised an offbeat mix of quirky comedy, action, and colorful criminals. A perfect recipe for a fun ride, right? Well, the audience didn't buy the ticket for this one. A film that should have been a hit with Coen fans turned into their lowest box office performer in over 3 decades. Even with a wild ensemble cast, an absurd premise, and the trademark Coen wit, the film just couldn't generate buzz. Critics were lukewarm, and audiences, they just didn't show up. Marketing tried to sell it as the quirky, fun ride of the year, but without a strong word of mouth, it quickly fell into obscurity. The film grossed a mere $7.9 million worldwide, which is disappointing for any Coen brothers production.
Player 1 wins. Game over.
Oh, yeah.
Game not over?
Next up, we have Boy Kills World, a hyper-violent action comedy that should have been a knockout. With an insane revenge plot, wild fight sequences, and a bit of off-the-wall weirdness, this movie seemed like it had breakout potential. But when it came to theaters, it barely made a dent, grossing only $3.3 million worldwide on an $18 million budget. Despite an intriguing premise, a talented cast, and an intriguing concept, Boy Kills World never connected with audiences. The marketing was minimal, and even the stylized action and intense violence couldn't bring in viewers. Its cult film potential might still exist, but for now, it's one of those films that was almost ahead of its time. It quickly disappeared from the big screen, only to be left for streaming where it's still struggling to find an audience.
We should run the dress rehearsal and claw back a win next Saturday.
We can't, Dick. It's a live show.
Chevy Chase, Gilda Radner, Dan Iyek, how the fuck do you pronounce this?
At number 6 is Saturday Night, a film about the origins of Saturday Night Live, a project that was thought to be an automatic win. With a star-studded ensemble cast and heavy buzz from critics, the movie was hailed as an Oscar contender even before it hit theaters. The problem? Nobody showed up to see it. The movie made only $9.8 million worldwide on a $30 million budget, an absolute flop considering the cultural relevance of SNL and the packed cast. Despite critical praise, audiences simply didn't connect with the film. The allure of SNL's origins wasn't enough to pull in viewers from either older or younger generations. Once the disappointing box office numbers rolled in, the buzz quickly died down and the movie faded into obscurity. With only a single Golden Globe nomination for Gabriel Lo, it seemed to have all the ingredients for success, but missed the mark with audiences when it mattered most.
I, Wolf, come before you, Hedda.
Wolf, don't.
To seek your hand in marriage.
At number 5, we have The War of the Rohirrim, the animated Lord of the Rings movie that failed to live up to the franchise's legendary legacy. With a budget of $30 million and the immense brand recognition of Lord of the Rings, this movie should have been a guaranteed success. Yet, it made just $20 million worldwide, a catastrophic result for a franchise that typically grosses billions. The film's failure can be attributed to lackluster marketing and an overall lack of enthusiasm from both fans and critics. Warner Brothers greenlit the project simply to retain the rights to J.R.R. Tolkien's work, rather than creating a film with a clear, passionate vision. As a result, the movie never found its audience. The marketing efforts were minimal, and by the time it hit theaters, interest had already waned. Fans of the franchise didn't feel compelled to see the animated story, and the movie struggled to find its footing despite being set in Middle-earth. At number 4, Sasquatch Sunset surprises many. This indie drama starring Jesse Eisenberg and Riley Keough, which premiered at Sundance with strong reviews, was given a surprisingly wide release. Yet, despite all the critical praise and the compelling performances, the film grossed only $1 million worldwide. The problem with Sasquatch Sunset was that it just wasn't for everyone. While it was beautifully crafted and clearly had a niche following, the film didn't have the mainstream appeal to draw large audiences into theaters. Most people looked at the premise, Sasquatches in a slow-burn, art house drama, and decided to skip it. This is the kind of film that may one day find a second life as a cult classic. But for now, it's one of those movies that flew under the radar despite its quality. Next, we have Azrael, a horror thriller that seemed to have all the right elements. A gripping, disturbing premise, intense performances, and a chilling atmosphere. Samara Weaving's portrayal of a woman facing off against a violent cult in a world where no one speaks should have been enough to get horror fans into theaters. But in the end, it only made $617,000 worldwide. Despite its engaging concept and strong performances, the film's limited release and lack of marketing doomed it. IFC Films gave it a mere 762 theaters in North America and little global distribution. Without the promotional push, it fell under the radar. Fans of horror films and thrillers might have found it intriguing, but with minimal buzz, the movie disappeared into the void. Azrael had the potential to be a sleeper hit, but unfortunately, it never got the shot it deserved.
I think I'm having a bit of a realization.
In the second spot is Night Bitch, a film that promised a strange and unique journey into the world of motherhood, identity, and surreal horror. Amy Adams stars as a stay-at-home mom who begins to think she's turning into a dog at night, a concept that intrigued many. But despite the buzz, Night Bitch made only $170,000 worldwide. The film's release was a mess from the start. Disney barely gave it a theatrical run, opting for a quick awards-qualifying release. Once it hit Hulu, it vanished from the streaming charts almost immediately. The movie's mixed reviews didn't help either. While Adams' performance garnered praise, the film was too divisive and weird for most people. What was meant to be a dark comedy horror and potential Oscar contender turned into a forgotten release, leaving many to wonder how a movie with such promise failed so spectacularly.
She kept asking for you, and I tried calling you, but I'm so sorry, love, she's gone.
Does an angel contemplate my fate?
Finally, the #1 flop of 2025. Better Man, the Robbie Williams biopic that took an audacious approach by turning the legend into a CGI chimpanzee as a metaphor for his struggles. Bold, visually striking, and deeply emotional, Better Man had everything it needed to be a major hit. Except for one thing, an audience. It made a disastrous $14 million worldwide on a $110 million budget, making it one of the biggest bombs of the year. The film received rave reviews for its innovative approach, with many praising its boldness and visual style. But despite its stunning filmmaking and praise from critics, viewers rejected it. The unconventional storytelling, which was meant to set it apart from other biopics, instead alienated audiences who expected a more traditional approach to Williams' life. Even in markets where Robbie Williams was well known, the film failed to attract viewers. With such a massive budget and so much potential, Better Man is a tragic reminder that sometimes, even the most daring films can fall flat at the box office. And there you have it, the top 8 flops of 2025 so far. Films that dared to be different, that were expected to change the game, but in the end couldn't quite get the audience to show up. Sometimes, the best ideas just aren't the ones that people are ready for. If you want more videos like this, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.